great on it yesterday. We're not going to discount that in any effect, but it's going to be interesting to see how they do against EG, which obviously has a little bit more history. The first band's coming out now to be from Cloud9, and they're going to knock the Montaigne out right from the start.
Not a bad idea. We saw EG running the Montaigne yesterday, first on Gotcha and then swapping it off to Young later on in the matchup, so they definitely have a lot of shield proficiency. Don't want to be dealing with that. A Dokkaebi ban in response from Evil Geniuses to round out the attacking bans. So we're still going to have all hard breachers, we're still going to have Glaz, we're still going to have Blackbeard. That's an abnormality. We haven't really seen a match so far where we've had both of those in play at the same time.
Yang, another one that was commonly getting banned out yesterday, also going to be left in the pool. The first defensive ban, though, going to be a little bit more part of the course from what we expect. With Echo, pretty much expect either him or Maestro to get knocked out pretty much every game right now.
Cloud9 makes the final call, and it will be Mira. All right, so yesterday we saw a couple games with Mira slipping through the ban phase on Coastline. That will not be the case this time. Maestro still left to the avail for both teams on their defensive halves. It will be EG starting out on attack and C9 starting out on defense for Coastline. 5-round halves for everyone who did not check in yesterday. I'm ready to get this underway, and EG starting out on attack means they have the opportunity to set the tone early. Coastline slightly favoring the attacking side to start. EG's in a good spot to round things up and get their momentum on their side.
It's going to be interesting site choice to start as well, considering the lack of Mira. They're going to go directly over towards Penthouse regardless, but with Maestro in play, along with the usual pickups of Smoke and Jaeger coming into the mix, going to be quite a bit of potential to still lock down one of the more closed-off sites that's on this map, in my opinion.
Listen to that crowd. Oh, I love it, baby, I love it. Penthouse and Theater, a 6-pick for Fox. They off the Maestro to the Pulse. Same for Necrox, from Jackal to Glaz. Leaving Necrox available with Glaz. Obviously Geo, who is not here. Gotcha is filling in for Geo, but Geo would typically be the Glaz. Necrox, no slouch on Glaz either. Wonderful, wonderful play on Glaz that he's used in the past and demonstrated his skill on before. Penthouse and Theater is your primary bomb site without a Mira, though, for Cloud9. A little questionable.
We'll see how it ends up panning out for them. And of course, despite the lack of Geo, as you were mentioning before, Gotcha, as the analyst has been brought up, has still been doing a fantastic job of filling in for these guys and making sure that EG still remain on top. But it's Cloud9 looking to stop them, as they're going to try to pick up their first round on defense here. In a second, we'll have EG out on the board for the first time. We'll see how that attack goes onto Penthouse. Like I said, it's a bit of a strange choice considering the lack of a Mira. Cloud9 probably have a plan for this. So we'll take a look at what that ends up being for themselves. The setup, though, looks pretty standard inside of the site.
Well, the vertical play most likely will be a huge factor in this, as we have two Nitro cells most likely playing together downstairs. It is Laxing and Foxe on those roaming intel gathering operators with Nitro cells to be used beneath from kitchen and service area inside of the kitchen bathroom. It'll probably be the primary focus for EG if they want to attempt an entire clear of the basement. If not, they can try and avoid the Nitro cells. It'll just be a constant looming threat that they'll have to be aware of.
We saw how effective those Nitro cells were, specifically from Fox's perspective in yesterday's matchup against E-Gang, so it is something they're going to have to be aware of. Cloud9 have been on point with the timing on their C4 usage, so it's certainly something that the attackers are going to have to be wary of. So a little bit slow on the start here, however, for EG. Not too keen on to taking that upstairs control. However, we could have a battle looming here. Gotcha seems to be aware of it, so he's going to go for a bit of a self-drone. Retro will immediately deny that, but still, they'll get the intel. There is a player on the outside, so probably not going to see Gotcha contesting that hallway for a little bit longer here, at least. However, he gets tested again, so I might be wrong on that. Retro is leaning in for this fight. Neither player seems to want to take it right now, but it is going to end up being Gotcha from EG that finds the opening kill. He's finally able to isolate out the position of Retro and eliminates him first of the match.
There's only one person on site, and it's Mark the Shark as that ACOG dock inside of Theater, waiting for the long peek, but Gotcha again! Showing out on the L85, and now it's going to force C9 to all collapse back towards the objective. See Laxing coming into the bottom of the Theater stairs, right on top of Gotcha, moving down, but Gotcha's ready! 3 for 3 for Gotcha to start things off. Fox will trade NVK back, but it's still 4v2 in the favor of EG.
Retro left in the hole, going to be leaving a lot of intel open about what's exactly in the site here. God is still trying to hold players off with the smoke play, and meanwhile she'll be able to pick up a nice kill against Canadian, bringing it back, but she's also going to fall to Gotcha, and Young will clean it up. A 4K from Gotcha to start off the tournament on the second day for these guys.
Look at that man stepping up. Gotcha, 4 kills to start things off. Young cleaning things up with the bearing. Yes, Troy, that is your coach. EG take round number 1 against C9 on the attack. A good start for them, like we said. Penthouse and Theater, a little bit of a questionable start for them. We're going to go back there, apparently, for C9. I think they can run it back and do a better job of winning their engagements. Really, it just came down to the peaks. Everyone peeking Gotcha, and Gotcha was winning those.
Winning every single engagement. He did 3 separated 1v1s and then took a final one within the site to be able to knock out Goddess at the end as well. So beautiful stuff from Gotcha. He certainly wants that win. He certainly wants a spot in the national finals. And has showed up to work for that with a beautiful 4K to start off the first map of the series. It's going to be a 6 pick over to a Bandit this time, moving away from the dock. As Mark will be picking that up instead. The Blackbeard also is going to come into play for Young as he switches away from the glass. Unfortunately, wasn't able to find too much impact with that, but hoping he can find a little bit more on the Blackbeard.
Shocking part to me is that Mark 6 picked off the dock. They were going to go identical lineup as last time, but he swapped off to a Bandit, knowing that Gotcha was bringing the Thatcher. Most likely going to do it again. Don't really see how the Bandit is going to help. And also, he was the lone man on site until Goddess came back. She was playing over by the Hall of Fame until Mark died, and he was the only one on site. You kind of want that ACOG and that extra armor just to be able to withstand those gunfights on site. But he's going to swap to the Bandit. Might see a trio roam coming out from the 3 of them just to completely shut down entry into the map against EG.
Waxing running around setting up the rest of the Black Eye cameras as well. 2 have already been deployed upstairs. 1 I think might have gone to the outside as well. And the second or third will go into the usual spot in the lobby here to watch out for a more direct push from EG if that's what we end up seeing from this side. For this time, I should say, instead of more lurking around the second floor where Gotcha was able to find pretty much all of his impact.
Troy heading up to the roof, and once again, although much more focused towards the bathroom hatch here for EG, they might have been reading that there were so many off-site last time around for Cloud9 and just want to go for a site-direct approach, but not go through luggage this time. Knowing that Retro will most likely be playing those top theater stairs once again and not wanting to even contest it, they were lining up pretty heavily, and we've got one more person coming in through Hookah. That's NVK on the IQ. Just dropping a Claymore out on the balcony door, and he'll back off too. You got 2 stacked above the bathroom hatch. This could be a rush to site for EG.
Moment if EG are going to be ready to throw themselves at it, like you had mentioned. They've got the hatch blown open. One of the reinforced walls has also been destroyed, giving them a little bit more room to play off of here. As first off, the X-Kairos are used to breach open just to the right side of where Young is right now. They've got an opening. They can go over towards Hall of Fame and have a little bit more room to work with here. But no, it's going to be Mark that finds the off angle, knocking out Young early on as Cloud9 will strike first this time.
Great job there to try and dissuade EG from continuing their full court press in towards that bathroom, using it as a focal point. Good job there, and a great gun battle to win there from Mark against the Blackbeard. Gotcha holding Lambo door for just a moment. Waxing will spot the drone and evacuate, trying to evade the lurking presence of Gotcha outside. He still hasn't made his entry in, and it looks like EG are trying to regroup and configure where they would like to go. Gotcha hitting even more shots now. Waxing dispatched of in the kitchen service hallway. Leveling man count at a 4v4. 75 seconds tick away on the clock, and they're very wary of Goddess's presence on the right half wall from yesterday.
Not going to be able to push the big window just yet, however. Time might start to become an issue over these next few moments, but they've at least got a few more players into the bathroom, and I think are going to be in a good enough position to push from that same hallway to get into this B site. However, like you mentioned, they're well aware of the position from Goddess. They don't want to overextend and pressure that too early, especially with the support from Mark still being present inside of the theater itself. This is a tricky push now from EG, considering all the time they've wasted trying to go for earlier kills and were unsuccessful in it, but Goddess makes an incredibly aggressive push and gets caught up by Gotcha as he finds yet another kill here.
Foxeye downstairs is going to see Troy lurking for him. You see the entire kitchen service wall has been ripped open. Troy inside a courtyard. What a great shot from Foxeye. The Nitro, though, won't hit. A 3v3 as Gotcha pushes through sight. And Mark getting on cameras the worst time, but he wins it out. Necrox will trade it right back. Retro bringing another one and tries to knife. Necrox shuts him down. It's down to a 1v1. Trying to stick the plant down, and Foxeye still downstairs. No Nitro, though, as he detonated it prematurely and he rushed back to site. Necrox still needs to get this plant down, and Foxeye will keep toying with it, running back and forth, just punching the wall to bait him off, and now Necrox has to go for the kill. Foxeye running away. He's going to play the time. No time left. He's going to have to rip up the stairs, and Necrox tries to complete the plant into overtime. Foxeye turns the corner, and it'll level things up. Cloud9 with the clutch. 1-1 on Coastline.
And the knife to finish it off as well from Foxay. A closely fought round, to say the least. Mistakes being made by both teams, but at the end of the day in the 1v1, it's beautifully played from Fox. That plays the time game, knows that the Habana has no choice but to stick on the diffuser at that point, and just shuts it down right at the end of the diffuse plant, allowing for the traded round to be picked up by Cloud9, and for us to go 1-1.
Great recovery there on Penthouse Theater when it looked like things were about to go awry. Really got to commend Mark on that round. Single-handed effort from inside a theater. He won the 1v1 engagement against Young on the Blackbeard while he was inside a bathroom. And then again, somehow, I don't know, maybe he got a good animation coming off those cams, but he checked cams at the most inopportune possible time and still was able to gun Gotcha. Although Gotcha's been going off, that's 2 rounds in a row now with multiple kills. He's starting out very hot for EG.
Should be sitting at least 7, if not 8 kills at this point, given what he's done in these past few rounds, maybe 6 as well. But we see the same 6 pick being used again by our attacking team on EG. The pick from the Glaz initially, and switched over once again. But yep, it's 6 kills in the first 2 rounds from Gotcha, including a 4K in the opening round and a double kill in the last.
You pointed it out as well in the call that Goddess's push into Hall of Fame was quite aggressive. Obviously, shotgun point-blank range, you want to try and press that advantage, but not knowing where Gotcha was, still inside of the bathroom, just turning the corner the wrong direction, nearly cost her team that round. And that's not something you see from Goddess very often. She's just a very thoughtful and prolific anchor on site, never really pushing out too far or making those kind of mistakes. Usually lets the rest of her team, who are very well done by fraggers, to do the work for her on those engagements, just playing site quite conscientiously, and that just wasn't the case on that round.
Start this off, obviously, with the upstairs site being won by Cloud9. They now go to the kitchen for their next choice, including the Maestro coming back to the mix. We can see one of the Evil Eyes was deployed directly onto the B-bomb itself. Didn't exactly catch it. They threw up the second one, but it should be relatively close by as well. And we now have the attackers. We have EG out on the board once again. Relatively similar lineup to what we've seen before.
See Retro's hold upstairs, utilizing some of those castle barricades to try and repel the immediate entrance of EG. Looks like they want to get on the top clear very quickly here and start ripping up the floor, obviously. You want to displace those remaining anchors on slide on kitchen. Looks to be a 3-man roam right now for Cloud9. Multiple pings coming out into the hallway by 90. Foxay will escape without taking any damage back into theater to join Retro. So this double hold in theater is going to have to stall out for at least another minute.
Young's going to continue to wait patiently for an opportunity to catch one of these guys peeking early on. Fox will try to tap in for a little bit of damage at range, but will miss that chance. He's come very close to connecting some shots, and some shots finally will hit. It's onto him, though. A little bit of damage also is returned onto Young. Young, though, just barely missing the opportunity to take out Fox there. Escapes with under 25 HP, so he's out of the fight now. You can't take those engagements anymore from the inside of theater. Someone else is going to have to step up and knock out the Blackbeard in this instance. Gotcha, wrapping back out, finds an easy pick. Retro still moving around in the hallway. He's caught none the wiser. Another one, and an additional pickup from Cloud9, and now a third as Laxton gets the double kill. Foxa finding one more. And now it's down to only 1 from EG. It's all on Gotcha. We've seen him do incredible things in just these first 2 rounds, though. But he's going to be asked to do it again. He's found 1 kill, reps in quickly for yet another one. Caught the barbed wire for a moment. That's not going to stop him. He's ready. He's seen the shadow onto the Maestro, and he'll take him out as well. Looking for one more. Let's be careful of this one. We'll go for the finish on Mark, quickly taking him out. Laxing incredibly low around the corner, but he fails, and Laxing clutches it out in the 1v1 for C9, and they will close out to take the lead, 2-1.
Put Gotcha on Ash. My God, the coach is going off. Needs the rest of the team to show up to join him there. It was a tsunami of frags for Cloud9 in the midway point in that round. Their theater hold looked to be crumbling as Foxay took extreme damage from Young pushing out a bathroom. It was a wonderful play to be able to drop back, and Laxing on the dock coming upstairs in support for the 3rd man on that roam. That was the key point to them holding theater so well. Gotcha almost brought it back in a 1v4, but incredible patience and resiliency there for Laxing to win that out in the 1v1. He did not have the health advantage in that engagement or the weapon engagement.
So switch up to the Zofia now for Gotcha, as they're going to put Canadian on the Ash instead. Another 6 pick. This time it's away from the Blackbeard, though, as it's going to be quite obvious if they do Glaz to Blackbeard again. This time it's going to be Blackbeard over towards Hibana, so they can keep that hard breach presence that they've been relatively fond of comparatively in what we saw from Cloud9.
Gotcha with 10 frags through 3 rounds heading into round number 4. And honestly, you look at that scoreboard, yes, Gotcha's doing a lot of work, but it's kind of a sour point that there are 2 donuts currently. It's only 3 rounds, don't get me wrong, but that Gotcha is having to do all the heavy lifting right now is not a good thing, but if he's feeling it, I guess continue to roll him out. The rest of the team just needs to wake up and help him, though.
On to double bars next, as Cloud9 start to rotate around the map. Already being able to control the penthouse on round 2 after a failed first attempt, and picking up the kitchen quickly afterwards. Now down on the first floor once again for the bars to close out this floor before we either see them go towards hookah or potentially back to the penthouse. They're feeling confident to try and close out that site again on their final round.
Once again, Retro playing the castle, just looking to manipulate the map and try and funnel the attackers in a certain direction. Make sure that the roam clear is a little more elusive, a little more convoluted. Laxing going to rotate down through security, and as I imagine, he's going to be playing the bottom of those stairs for a long amount of time, just trying to hold that pivotal position. I'm waiting to see where EG wants to make their initial entry. There's a heavy stack towards kitchen and security, and an aquarium balcony push will always leave you wondering about your flank. It's not going to be any different here. Canadian and Mark actually on opposite sides of the wall from each other, both utilizing punch holes in the wall, but they'll escape. Pre-fires will elude Mark's head, and Canadian will move on back, but it'll be Laxing inside of security, getting the first kill for C9, dropping Necrox, and Canadian will now have to push in for the refrag.
Canadian ready to take that battle should the need arise, but Laxing also going to be in a great position to just pick him off if we see Canadian push too heavily towards the steps. So back up at the main desk, though. However, he's going into that angle once again. The good news is Laxing gets forced out of position. He's forced to reposition, and now it's Canadian that'll have a pretty good edge in this battle. Goes for the pop of the flash, but he ends up blinding himself. And Laxing, he's got an opportunity to push. He's going to throw up the Nitro Cell, but Young takes him down from the backside before he can detonate it.
Great saving grace play there for Young to pinch in through office at the exact moment that Troy was pushing. Great coordination and communication there from EG to make sure they didn't throw that away. They had Laxing locked down. You need to secure those easy frags on a pinch roamer like that. You still have the double roam inside of kitchen. Mark's taking a handful of damage, just trying to hold kitchen for as long as possible. And now that castle barricade protecting Foxe at the end of the hallway at the bottom of Cool Vibe stairs will now be blown open by Canadian.
Fox is going to get spotted out by Canadian's drone. I believe, anyway, they should have been able to peek him out of the corner of it. That is going to leave this position exposed. Goddess, in the meanwhile, she's still trying to hold from the inside of Sunrise Bar. Pressure is starting to move in. C9 will look to crunch on it on the upstairs part of the map specifically. But Young will be able to move in, knocking out Goddess. The second kill is followed up. Foxa will be able to trade. Problem is now, it's down to only 2, now 1, as Canadian quickly catches the jump out from Retro. We're all on Fox at this point. Diffuser's gone down. It's locked into a 1v3 with minimal intel as well. Goddess was the only one in this site that could have provided post-plant positions, but she died well before the Diffuser ended up going down.
Inside a courtyard, the vault comes over, and Canadian will dispatch a Foxe with ease. C9 fall apart on their Sunrise and Blue Bar defense, and we level things up once again at 2-2. It's been back and forth starts to maps for EG all weekend. Yesterday, the match that we casted against Orglis, same thing on all 3 maps. There's a 3-2 split in the first half, no matter what. It's a shocking, honestly, sight to see for EG, who usually take a little bit longer to warm up in games. Usually it's them losing the earlier rounds, but their counter-stratting is effective enough that they can pull back rounds later on. It's a good sight to see that EG is hanging toe-to-toe with their opponents in every single match in the first portion of each map.
And it's a slower take overall, I think, is what wins EG that round. Instead of just trying to burst in with the entire team and go for an all-in execute, they take slower Hall's control, knocking out some of the roamers from C9 one by one, and more importantly, isolating those positions so they're relatively safe kills, like we saw against Laxing and Security is the best example I can provide to that. And then once they have a good enough man advantage, then it's time for that big consolidated push into the site, where as we saw, they had no problem whatsoever taking control and getting the diffuser down. We're going to go back to the penthouse now. Seems like Cloud9 prefers this over attempting the double bars once again. So we'll go back to where we saw the first 2 rounds play out to close out the half and see if either Cloud9 or EG will take that 1-round advantage.
Yesterday against Orglis, EG took the first half 3-2 in all 3 maps. Wonder if it's going to be a replication here. The note for the Coastline yesterday, the last map against Orglis, they did take the first half 3-2, but they were starting out on the defensive side. This time on the attack, they've surrendered 2 rounds.
10 seconds left.
CGG presenting us with the stats. Black on site, never won back home. These 2 teams played Coastline during Season 8, where Evil Geniuses won 6-2. So that is the last time, at least recorded, that we have that in a public match these 2 have played. And EG took it 6-2. I have a feeling, just based off of these 4 rounds, it's going to be a much closer affair.
And I think that's actually the only time Cloud9 has played this map. If you look at the last, like, 3 to 5 months, somewhere in that range of their history, it's the only time they actually played it in an official, you know, obviously minus the time yesterday. So this is still a map that's kind of being thrown into the pool all of a sudden for Cloud9 compared to previous tournaments that they've played in.
Gotcha's been going through the cycle of ops once again. He was hitting, 5, 6 operators in a match yesterday in all 3 maps against Orglis, and today he's now 4 operators through 5 rounds. He's played Thatcher twice, then Ash, Zofia, and now he's on Twitch, his 4th operator through 5 attacking rounds. I wonder if that'll carry on the defensive side. We saw it also cycling yesterday against Orglis. I wonder if they just haven't really found the right consistency, or if they're trying to put him in roles right now because he's clearly feeling himself. His shot is on. Maybe they want to put him in more of a fragging role than they initially anticipated putting him in.
Well, again, it'll be a slow start for EG on the lead up this time. Gotcha does have control over the south hallway to play off of. He's got to be careful. He ends up moving around towards areas like Aquarium, though, because that's where the Lurk Presence is set up. Gotcha, however, is going to be the one in those upper halls that'll fall early on. It's Cloud9 once again take the opening kill. It's Fox, I believe, that finds it.
Very aggressive roaming play there from Foxy all the way over in VIP. I believe he just stretched out for the moment and has fallen back. No, he's still in behind the circle couch. Canadian, though, will trade out Retro, so that's that Jaeger dispatched to the top of East Stairs, taken care of. A double hold now at the top of Theater Stairs for the Ash and Hibana of Canadian and Young. Mark will get flashed again while he's on cams inside of Theater. It's been a bad storyline for him so far. Trying to check cams inside of sight. Holding the side of the doorway. There's no way for Foxy to come back and support. He's waiting on the VIP hall push. He'll tag up NVK down to about 5 HP, but Mark is losing this engagement. Launching out a Nitro Cell in desperation, but it will not hit as the X-Kairos detonate on the back of his wall, and he's got nowhere to go.
He's trying to crawl. We do see the gas grenade coming in to at least support him at the doorway and prevent another peek from there, so he'll be safe to hold this angle for the next few seconds. In behind the bomb itself, he's going to be able to do massive damage. Both NVK and Young are now incredibly lit, but Young is still going to be able to frag out here. Foxy moving in, he's going to be able to pick up one. Young just taking down Laxing, Laxing is still going to leave these guys in a bad position. Canadian moves in for the trade against Foxy, and Cloud9 unfortunately are crumbling. Goddess needs to find a way for herself to get into this fight, as the players on the site, on Theater itself, are unable to hold. It's down to Mark and Goddess for the side of Cloud9 to close this out against 3, still standing tall for Evil Geniuses. Goddess does spot the big window play, so she'll move behind, but she'll lose Mark in the process. It's down to only her now in a 1 versus 3, and it's not looking good when you consider the positioning she has to work off of. She's fallen back into Hall of Fame now. Theater pretty much under the full control of EG, and they will put the diffuser down. She's trying to go for a long-range battle with that SMG-11. Unfortunately, it's not working, and Necrox, with the big peek at the big window, will shut it down, knocking out Goddess and giving EG control of the final round of the half.
For the 4th straight map this weekend, they will take the first half 3-2. So starting off halves early and starting them hot. It's a great story here for EG. Hear the crowd getting back into it.
I think we swung a little bit further to EG's side. Yeah, we're getting back over to EG's side. Maybe the crowd is as tumultuous as Twitch chat.
It's those bandwagoners, I tell you. You gotta be careful of those. Let's hear it though for the Cloud9 fans. We still got any of those out there?
There we go.
They're still there.
Oh, they're still there, all right.
And it's close, ladies and gentlemen. They could bounce back at any moment. This has been a neck-and-neck battle. EG supported primarily at this point by their coach, Gotcha, although we've seen quite a few of the other players jumping in more of the later rounds here, but it's Gotcha that was dominating those first 2 to 3 rounds, picking up 10 kills within the first 3 of them that really started to put EG onto the map. Fortunately, a lot of those kills didn't end up mattering as Cloud9 was still able to trade those rounds back and keep the scoreline where we're at now, 3-2.
Well, it was definitely the rest of the team stepping up as Gotcha had 10 frags through 3 rounds and still has 10 frags through 5. So for the last 2 rounds, it's been the rest of EG stepping up in his place. And honestly, as a coach subbing in for your team at this kind of level, all you can really hope for is to have that kind of impact early at some point. You want to have a positive effect on a portion of the game. You don't want to be a detriment to your team. I think Gotcha's far surpassed any kind of position that he would be in to be a massive detriment at this point.
Eagle Eye gonna go down onto the floor just outside an aquarium, which will be good to actually do damage to any players that try to move in and go for a more standard plan on the A site. Pops open the floor there as well in the event that they're still able to control the bar just below the billiards room. It's more attempts to be able to deny that early plant. Should we see a more aggressive play from the guys on Cloud9 to take early site control through that aquarium?
Yeah, and that's your default plant spot inside of billiards. There's hardly ever a hookah push that actually results in a plant inside of hookah. Most typically, if anyone is going to be planting, attacking this particular objective, it's going to be on that spot that got you ripped open with the bailiff. It's a pretty typical spot to prep for, and there's nothing really else out there in billiards that's remarkably safe. You can try and get behind the pool table to block your vision from hallway, but for the most part, that's your only opportunity. So all it takes is one person heading downstairs, and it looks like there's a little bit of an investment with a reinforcement and a rotate hole through Sunrise, to attempt to hold it for EG, just in the event that C9 do take site control.
Bomb located by attacker.
Still focused on the droning at this point. So we're going to see Goddess trying to support the Blackbeard push from Mark inside of Aquarium. Now, Aquarium itself, like we talked about before, that's not going to be the difficult part. So that's left open for the taking. It's dealing with the Evil Eye that's sitting behind a couch to Mark's left right now. In addition to the site. It's a good start, however, from Cloud9. Foxay picking up the early kill on Canadian, gives them the 5v4 advantage at the beginning of the round.
Good start for them. And Canadian just in an awkward position. I believe Foxay was double tapping the dead body of Canadian that was inside of Hookah. I guess as a Valkyrie, you might be able to launch a Nitro cell out onto the balcony, but a very risky position that was read beautifully by Foxay. Now the Aquarium pressure has been established for C9. They're going to have to worry about the anchors offsite over inside of Hookah and the hallways now. That'll be their main focus on clearing out.
But once again, Cloud9 are a little bit hesitant to go for such an early push into the A site. Not going to be meeting any contention early on through this wall. That's mainly due to the lack of a Mira. We do have Capital, some of the fire charges coming out, and a good hold from Laxing is able to knock out NVK early on, giving these guys another kill. It's too aggressive, unfortunately, from EG. They're not able to hold up. The smoke going down onto the ground is actually going to push quite a few of the C9 players back, but it only leads to a 1-for-1 exchange. Foxay finding yet another pickup, and Young turning it back. Now we have the rest of EG trying to force the way in. Those smoke grenades did good work to try and get them away from the diffuser, but the problem is they don't have the capability to push in and retake Aqua so easily.
They're going to try and stick the defuse with Necrox covering. Young is holding it. Oh, a great SMG-11 unload there. Necrox still covering, and the defenders will win! What a beautiful job there on the defuse. A great coverage from Necrox. Just body blocking for all he's worth, even when he's out of ammo. Shotgun left in hand, but EG steal a round away from Cloud9.
You gotta give credit to the smoke play on defense there from Evil Geniuses. Like I said, just completely forced back the entire Cloud9 presence that was meant to stick around and defend that diffuser once it had gone down. I believe that was Necrox, once again, assuming we haven't switched it, was able to force those guys back. And that's on Cloud9 for not trying to force that out earlier on in the round. All 3 gas grenades were still ready to go, and it was an easy job to push Cloud9 completely out of Aquarium and leave them in a position where they just couldn't hold on, unfortunately.
A great read there from EG, spotting that Cloud9 were far too off of the objective, in a poor position to be able to cover that diffuser. It would have required a sprint back, and Necrox, with the coverage, the body block, everything was beautifully done by him to make sure that Young could sit in safety no matter what. Even running out of ammo, just turning and flicking with a shotgun just to be a distraction, a possible danger. And now EG steal a round, go up 4-2, 2 rounds away from taking map number 1. We talked about Gotcha a lot, but we also got to talk about Foxay's performance at this point. 11 frags through 6 rounds. He's also on a tear right now, trying to lead the charge for C9 to bring it back. And if they don't surrender that round, you know, we're talking about a tie game here, going back to more back and forth rounds. Sunrise and Blue Bar for EG should be interesting. We saw the way that Cloud9 were holding this as far as earlier on in the game, and it was a difficult hold for Cloud9 to wrap their heads around as far as who should be holding in which portion of the objective upstairs. At one point, it was Cloud9 all trying to send for a top floor rotate, just leaving Goddess alone on site, and there wasn't anything she could do alone against 4 bodies. For EG, I'd like to see a little more site-centric play, at least 2 anchors on site for them to hold, most likely Necrox and Young, and let the others do their job. But when you're leaving 1 man alone in that site, it's going to be quite difficult to cover that amount of real estate.
Could be looking at a more direct bar defense inside of the Aquarium this time, coming out from the guys on EG. And they would kind of need to do that if they want to make sure those castle barricades won't have any effectiveness. This is quite obviously with the sledge in play by Mark. He could pretty quickly just knock those out of play. Well, to deal with those, but it's Laxing making an incredibly aggressive push early on. Just spots Gotcha. Seems to have stopped dead in the hallway for some reason. And that once again gives Cloud9 the early advantage.
He might have been actually trying to castle that door if he hadn't already used all of his castle barricades, but he won't get that off either. And a great read there from Laxing from the roof as well, trying to join Foxay on his reign of terror. And speaking of, Foxay unstoppable right now with the C7E. Will dispatch of Young, giving C9 an early 5v3 advantage, and Necrox taking a lot of damage on the objective as well. This is a bad spot for EG to fight out of. Mark will tack on and drop Necrox. It's suddenly all down to NVK and Canadian. There's a little more than a minute elapsed in the round. NVK circling around front desk, will be able to take down Oh, he's not even able to take down Foxay yet, still spraying back and forth. Left alone in a 1v5 as Retro acquired a pick off screen. Still spraying wildly around the desk, finally able to down off Foxay. Will end the Jackal's life, but with 4 left to find, the diffuser now being placed by C9 and a full map to rotate around to recover. There's not a lot left here to be done for NVK.
Position overall is not going to be optimal either. Obviously spent so long in the fight versus Foxay that they know exactly the route he's probably going to have to take just to be able to make it to the site and have enough time to get on and jam that diffuser. But as you can see, it's a double hold with the cool vibe steps, another player out of the back exit, and one more that can try to wrap around, potentially even all the way through the lobby in the event he tries to go through those halls. But yeah, he's going to be immediately shut down by the double stairs hold by Retro, and Cloud9 with a decisive round 7 bounce back.
Nothing could be done there for NVK. He got his kill, he got a bit of a stat pad there, but as Parker is so famous for saying, an impactless frag that will have no effect.
And now the crowd is swinging back in the favor of Cloud9.
Tumultuous as ever they are. Kitchen service defense will be the objective elected to go to now for Evil Geniuses to try and extend themselves to match point and not allow the comeback for C9. They were up 2 rounds. Now that deficit is cut in half after C9's wonderful site rush.
All right, so it's going to go down to Kitchen now for the next round. We'll see if the 6 picks will be utilized at all. And yeah, we've got a clash coming in. We saw how effective this was when it was used by Gotcha back on Villa in their matchup versus Orglis yesterday. And we'll see if it'll hold the same effectiveness once again. And they can use it to just hold off that service entry if they want to. A lot of other positions that it could play from as well. But if they want to deny the most direct route and the most used route, more than likely, it's going to be in that position.
I'm interested to see that it's Troy on the, it's Canadian, sorry, on the shield. You've got 2 other shield plays that worked out quite well yesterday in Young and Gotcha. Canadian's going to take his spin at it as well, just again showing that dynamic play of EG, the ability to swap roles on a dime.
10 seconds left.
The question for me is where his focus will be trained to, whether it's going to be trying to stall out the roam clear upstairs or if he is just going to be used as an anchor on site. He's currently upstairs. I guess he could just be reinforcing a hatch and coming back down, but at the moment with Gotcha's propensity of dumping utility into penthouse and now setting up theater for a hold, I imagine Canadian will be his tandem upstairs. Try and stall out that roam clear and honestly just slow down this tempo of C9. On their attacks, they've been very fast-paced, whether or not they've been successful or not on the round. 2 rounds now, they've been very, very aggressive.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
We do see the majority of the players from Cloud9 are going to try to work their way back in through the office. We've already got Foxay once again entering first, and we saw how effective he was on the previous round. I'll look to find just as much once again. If that is at all possible. I believe he picked up a 3K on the previous round. No surprise that we're going to see the clash move downstairs due to the relative lack of any aggression on the 2nd floor early on from Cloud9. Foxay has spotted it early on though, so he's going to try to rotate and avoid that as much as humanly possible.
Don't want to go up against the Clash 1v1. It's not a good time to have, especially when you don't know if Canadian has friends with him on the stairs. He didn't at the time, but he was just scouting out looking for people on the entry. And once again, Cloud9 setting up very close to site. Looks like it's going to be a majority Sunrise push, and you've got Laxing burning out utility and trying to get rid of this barbed wire here. His either concussions or impacts, couldn't tell which were being selected, were utilized to burn the ADS, and then he'll take out the barbed wire. Shots from Lambo lobby from NVK now playing on the Maestro, so a majority of roll swaps coming down, but Foxay walks straight in through behind the front desk. And that's the Maestro gone early. Gotcha coming back down the theater stairs in support, a second one joining him in Canadian on the shield, and Gotcha's legs would have been just visible for a moment, and you can see Foxay pinging out, hearing the oncoming of the Clash shield. Slowly encroaching towards his position. Waxing trying to bait it out for a crossfire. Canadian's not even going to entertain it as they have to worry about the site push on the opposite side of the objective.
The good news right now for EG is they're spending a whole lot of time, or they're wasting a whole lot of time away from Cloud9. But Necrox will get knocked up by Foxay. Retro is also going to be able to find Gotcha, and Mark hits his entry. It's down to Canadian, but where's he come from? Dropped into the hatch to find 1 kill. It won't matter though. Laxing trades it right back, and Cloud9 tie it up 4-4.
Comeback there for Cloud9, down 4-2 to level things at 4-4, and EG, it seems like their roam game is not exerting enough pressure throughout the entirety of the map. C9 should not be afforded the opportunity to simply ignore your roaming presence. I know Canadian and Gotcha came down those theater stairs and tried to interact and dissuade Foxay and Laxing from pushing in through Lambo, but it wasn't enough pressure. There was never an engagement. Gotcha never took the shots, and there's got to be something done to EG's roam game at this point, because it's the anchors that are dying first, and that's never what you want. That's giving C9 the clear, straight shot into the objective.
It's not too much of a surprise. We are going to see the Clash 6 picked away from. Did not find anything close to the effectiveness I think they were hoping for in that previous round. It's over to the Valkyrie instead to give them a little bit more intel to play off.
Foxay still going off, and Gotcha been quiet. So through 3 rounds, he had 10 kills. Now through 8, still sits at 10. It will look good at the end, but it shows a story of Gotcha falling off, and with it the momentum that EG were garnering early on off of his wonderful play. Obviously, again, he is a coach subbing in for Geo. He's not expected to drop double-digit frags every game, but the tail of the tape, the momentum that was on EG's side early on seems to be falling off, and Cloud9 are taking full control of the pace of this match.
Bomb located by attackers. 5 seconds remaining.
Looks like we are going to have to rehost this run really quickly. I'm assuming anyway, from the fact that no damage has been done. So this run will probably be called dead.
Most likely, I guess we'll wait for an admin decision on that.
Yep. Of course, we'll wait for final confirmation. But just assuming off the fact that it was still very early days in the round, and if I remember the rule correctly, as long as no damage is done, I think we will be good to call for that. But players are still playing it as a live round for the time being. I think as everyone from EG slowly disconnects. So yeah, they're all going to drop out. And we are going to have to rehost that, folks. So once again, we do apologize for that, but we're going to get a quick fix on that. As quick as possible, of course. It's Echo and Mira that's been knocked out.
EG now liking to go to hookah and billiards after losing 2 defenses in a row. This has been a tough spot for them. They also stole their first one. It's arguable that EG probably shouldn't have won any of their defenses.
That's the case, but we are going to have to see if they can close out on at least 2 more to take this map in a cleaner fashion. If not, it'll be Cloud9 instead, running up the gauntlet now, right up to 6 to close out at full time on regulation. Or if they tie, we put it up in overtime as well. That's an option. I'm sure something that the fans want to see with how close this match has been. They want it to go the distance before we claim one of these 2 teams as the first team to enter the national finals coming up around 5 o'clock local time today.
It's interesting to see the switch for EG. So yesterday against Orglis on Oregon, different map, I understand. However, they went up 3-2 in the first half. They started on defense and then lost every single attack. This time around, EG go up 3-2 on the attack, head to the defense, and have only narrowly escaped getting 1.
Fans still getting hyped, still want to see the EG fans anyway. Still wanting to see their team come out ahead in this matchup. They've been very close to being able to do that. A large part in the early rounds anyway, due to Gotcha, temporary stand-in for this event, who's normally the coach. Finding massive impact in the early rounds, but unfortunately, going completely silent since then. 10 kills, still, however, leads the team overall since that 3rd round.
Yeah, it's been a quiet few rounds for the majority of EG, quite simple rounds for C9 to take. Even in the round that they won, I think it was still a 2v4 by the time the defuse was completed by Young on hookah billiards last time around. So this was the only site they were successful on, although if Cloud9 hadn't been playing so far back, maybe they wouldn't have even been successful on that. A minute deep, and this is seemingly a more neutral C9, not as aggressive and fast-paced. Their tempo on their attacks heading into the second half, right off rip, were extremely high-paced. I'm surprised to see them actually take a minute and a half now to actually assess the situation and slowly work their way in.
To be fair, a decent length in the amount of time that we were just out of game, so they're probably a little bit cautious of if EG wanted to try and get more aggressive or wanted to innovate their own strategies a little bit. And that's what I think they're watching out for and why they're playing a lot more slowly right now. But again, they do see the evil eye on the wall. Unfortunately, no easy way to get rid of it at this current point in time. The game will go in. We've already got some smoke grenades thrown in tonight. Pretty sure the evil eye should have gotten taken out by that grenade. Yes, it's now gone. So we can see the C9 players continue to push in the actual site from the aquarium now with it being dispatched.
Taking their time. Once again, they've neglected the holdover inside of hookah, although Laxing will take down Gotcha to start things off. 2 now! Looking through the hookah window, and Laxing out on the tarp outside has given C9 a marked advantage in the round. See another one of Young looking for a wide peek around, and It seems to be Foxay attempting to hold the angle from VIP. Great lockdown here from C9 as now they have that man advantage. They've taken down 2 of the plant denial operators inside of Hookah. This is a wonderful position for C9 to push in and go for the plant.
Foxay going to be able to spot out more of the crew mines as well to take care of those early on. It's another kill from Laxing as well to knock out NVK. Now it's Cloud9 domination in a 5v2. Very little damage done to Cloud9 in general. Mark will find one more pickup, and it's all on Young now. He starts it off with a trade. The problem is he's got the firebolt in the way and nowhere to run, so Foxay will finish it off once again. It's Cloud9 that now take the lead and push up on map point.
5-4 lead, 3 straight rounds for Cloud9 on the attack. Foxay's looking for you, crowd. One more is all they need to close things out on Coastline.
On the flip side, though, all it takes is 1 from EG to send us to OT.
Truly test this Cloud9 offense and defense, of course, one more time. Should we end up in that 3-round OT to decide who can push ahead, who can take control of this map to start off the series. We're gonna go back to Kitchen for what could be the final round of the map. And the clash, at least off of the reveal phase, is coming back. We'll see if that'll get 6 picked away again as it did in the previous round. And yes, it will go away. So we're gonna end up with Valkyrie instead, as we've seen in the previous round. Same story for Foxa, as we don't see the Blitz get brought in. It's gonna be Jackal instead.
Shield's being flexed, and then the shield's being put away. EG to salvage Coastline after being up 4-2. Now have their backs against the wall on the precipice of defeat, and will head to Kitchen in service. Keep their hopes of Map1 alive. If not, in the Eastern Conference Final, Cloud9 will take the first map and send us to Villa if they can win this Solitude round.
We are going to be looking at, again, things pretty straightforward on the setup from EG, but it's the early round that they have to focus on, as that is where they are constantly losing the battle, and I'm pretty confident to say every single defensive round for the most part that they've played out so far. It's been Foxa or someone else from Cloud9 for that matter that's just been ripping them to shreds in the early lurk in the hallways, leading to a massive advantage every single time for Cloud9 and an incredibly easy site take to close out the round.
Well, I thought the pattern might not continue coming back from the break, but it did in that round. The anchors for EG dying first. It's been a common theme in all 4 defenses, and hopefully not the 5th for them should they want to continue this into overtime on Coastline. But it's been a rough go for the anchors for EG, just trying to stay alive. There's a lot of sight pressure early on for C9, and even in that last round, they took an extra 30 to 45 seconds to really clear out the map and make sure their flanks were held. I mean, the angle play from everyone on C9 to dispatch of those anchors was marvelous, and it cripples the back of EG every time they try to hold up on the site. It forces them into a retake with roamers far off the objective.
So, got the rest of Cloud9 getting ready to start moving further in the building now. Foxay once again choosing Office as the entry point, needs to clear out the blue bar and Sunrise. Make sure there's going to be no threat from here if they decide to push themselves into the site. Quite a bit of footprints to work off of. We'll catch the Jaeger. Fortunately, not in position inside of the Sunrise bar, so he's not going to be able to easily track him down, but his teammates can still use that intel to try and lock him out and take care of another one of the roamers early on here.
ADS catching the impact mine inside of the lifeline. Foxy taking a lot of damage to the courtyard wall from Canadian. He's trapped in a corner now with nowhere to go. Trying to pivot on a dime, but NVK will drop down and be the saving grace for Canadian. Using the Alda on the drop to the hatch. A frag grenade now being cooked by Mark. Will also be caught out by the ADS. Not enough work done by C9 to clear out the utility on site.
So Goddess is going to go directly for the plant. Laxing as well, finding one of the first kills for these guys, but unfortunately will be immediately traded back as Goddess is knocked out. The plant is denied. Gotcha gets himself yet another pickup to knock out Mark as well. Cloud9, for really the first true time on this half, are faltering in their attack and are just unable to get themselves into the site. The diffuser down onto the ground, no one able to safely move in to retrieve it due to the angles that all of our defenders on EG have set up for themselves right now. It's a lose-lose situation unless we can see Laxing or Retro make an amazing play to bring this back, as they're going to try to rotate around towards the other side of the map and push in from the kitchen instead.
Looks like Gotcha and Laxing are going to come to blows, and Gotcha reading the play perfectly from inside of Sunrise Bar. We leave Retro alone, who has successfully recovered the diffuser, but is now left in a 1v4. Gotcha the first target, peeking him from the bottom of the blue stairs, but Necrox turns the corner, blasts Retro into the stratosphere, and sends EG, thankfully, back to overtime. A chance to salvage the round after they started so hot. Best of 3 overtime. And it looks to be Evil Geniuses starting out on the defensive side, their worst side in overtime. So Cloud9 getting the attacking advantage in OT.
But for the first time, like we saw in that previous round, Cloud9 actually struggling with the early round, struggling to find that impact that was so necessary for them to get access, especially to the kitchen side if they end up playing to that again. But no, we're going to go back upstairs instead, so EG can play into the penthouse one more time.
It's an interesting call, honestly. I thought they would have gone back to kitchen as your first like really successful defensive site where you stalled out C9's entry as well. There was never really anyone from C9 trying to or having much success at getting into the building, acquiring some map control, some real estate, just any kind of ground to push off of, be that linchpin for C9 to maneuver the strat around. There was never any of that kind of semblance of coordination and success for C9 in that round. So I thought kitchen and service would have been the good point to work off of and branch out from there in the second time you have to defend should you need to get to that round in overtime. But no, penthouse and theater without a Mira, as it is banned. That's going to be a tough one. That is going to be a tough one.
EG do go for a 6 pick this time around, swapping out what would have been a castle over towards the Vigil instead and trying to hide that. And again, increase the potency of the roaming potential here for EG.
We've also got some more role swaps going on. Canadian heading over to the Vigil from the Valkyrie, and Gotcha will fill in that role. NVK was just on the Meister, but now Young will pick that up, and then NVK will take Gotcha's Jaeger role. So large swaps once again from EG, just cycling the roster, and Gotcha continues to be put on the carousel of operators. Just every round he's got a new role to fill and a new job to do, and it must be quite strenuous for him to be able to work through that every single round, but he's done a fairly good job. Retro taking a lot of damage off the spawn peak from Canadian there, down to about 30 HP, and a great reactionary shot. Canadian slaps down Foxay, starting off hot for EG. Look at Troy getting hype.
There we go, we're talking about increasing the roaming capability of EG, and they've just done it by hiding the Vigil pick, adding him to the mix, and of course being able to avoid the spot. They don't know where exactly he tended to play from, so was able to go for that spawn peak, gets a good amount of damage on a Retro, and then catches Foxay in a bit of a lucky find, to be honest. But like you said, the reaction is what ends up mattering at the end of the day. Takes him out just as he tries to push the window and eliminates him. Retro now trying to push that same window. Imagine a few other members from Cloud9 will attempt the same from the drop down here. Mark cooking the grenade to get rid of the barbed wire real quick and force anyone else that might be nearby away.
Can't think of a better pick to have as well, starting the round off, taking down Foxay. That's the man carrying them as far as frags go for C9, and also damaging Retro quite a lot off of spawn. It's a great work here done by Canadian to start things off on the round, to try and set the tone, and again, set C9 on their heels. Whenever C9 have felt like they've had free mobility and entry into the map and have been able to take control with ease and no congestion, they've dominated the round. It's a good start here. Oh no! Mark hiding in the shower! It only does about 25, and Necrox and Goddess will acquire frags each. Goddess from the grave with the asphyxiating bolt as she was denied by the SMG-11 of Necrox.
Well, Retro and Gotcha will trade blows. Gotcha getting one Lexing at the door. Be able to find Gotcha before he can safely retreat upstairs again. And now we're locked, 2v2. But obviously EG is sitting in a much better spot HP-wise. Retro still stuck at the big window leading inside of the penthouse due to how he was pre-fired earlier on in the round. All that coming out from Canadian, who's still alive, still at 100 HP, and still looking to hold off any of these pushes from the upstairs position he has now.
You've completely fallen off site to cover the diffuser that's in Hall of Fame. NVK solo holding VIP. You've got Retro rotating around to the VIP balcony, going up for the rappel. And Canadian will hear this. You've also got Laxing, who's over by the top of theater stairs. Seems to be pinching in and trying to push into the objective. More drones will come out, only 33 seconds remaining as Laxing still at the top of theater stairs is holding for rotates, but none such will come from EG as they have that diffuser. They know they have it locked down, and it's going to be on the onus of C9 to push through and try and retrieve it. And honestly, at this point with the time remaining, they're going to have to go for the frags. Trying to push through onto the hard ping. Retro not landing his shots and lighting up Canadian, but can't deal the finishing blow. Both trying to push in through. Canadian will finish off Retro, looking to repeat the corner. There's not enough time yet. Laxing will trade out Canadian. Has the diffuser ripping back to the objective, but NVK has also returned inside of theater. He's just going to wait for 0-0-0 and rush straight through. Laxing still trying to stick the plant. He will pull off! Evil Geniuses salvaging Coastline will put themselves back on match point.
And now one more round stands between them and the 1-0 lead that they certainly thought they were going to be able to take control of easily here against Cloud9, but certainly has not been the case. Cloud9 now find themselves on defense quite literally, and as well, in terms of their position in this matchup.
Listen to that crowd. EGC9, every other round it's a new team. So many fans out in the building here in Las Vegas. One round away for Evil Geniuses, leaving once again Cloud9 to battle back. They've won multiple rounds straight in this very map. Certainly not out of the realm of possibility, but also with EG winning Penthouse and Theater, and also previously having a dominating performance on Kitchen Service, this is leading to a quite tentative situation for C9 to be able to pull back. Laxing will 6-pick off the Vigil to the Valkyrie, and Necrox from the Glaz to the Jackal. And Jackal has seen a lot of play and doing a lot of work this evening so far on Coastline.
Suspicious lack of any Glaz play, despite him being left in the pool as well. We only really saw him being brought in for 1 or 2 rounds, comparatively where we had seen him used a whole lot more when he was left in the pool in some of our matches from yesterday.
Site setup for Cloud9, looking pretty standard to what they've run. Mark staying on the ACOG. So we talked about this earlier on in the Penthouse and Theater rounds, where Cloud9 started the game going back-to-back on Penthouse Theater. When Mark swapped off to the Bandit, he was put between a rock and a hard place inside of Theater, prone on the ground behind the bomb with multiple entry points surrounding him and multiple attackers bearing down on him. He's still able to work out of it. Once again, being that 3 armor with the ACOG, he'll probably be able to hold out in those seemingly impossible to win scenarios much longer at the very least, be able to stall out even longer than he did.
Doc on the roam, of course, looking for any potential pickups. It's early building access here for EG, as they're quite split up as well. It's in the early round. Not going to see much of a solidified push from the EG squad as they try to move themselves over towards Kitchen, where Cloud9 has chosen to defend this.
Gotcha will be the first man on entry on Zofia, so once again, the carousel of ops leads him to one he's played earlier on, but only once in this game. Zofia is entering in through Sunrise, and there seems to be, again, a Sunrise-centric focus here for Evil Geniuses. Also, Young going to be using the X-Kairos to blow open these reinforced walls in the cubby of Sunrise to look down hallway towards the Lambo desk. Double set at head level, affording the opportunity to peek, but no Blackbeard being played. We saw Young bringing out the Blackbeard quite a lot earlier on in this game. He's seemingly abandoned it, and now Gotcha being peeked from those same holes in a battle with Mark, and Mark will escape worse for wear, but immediately dock himself back up, having that advantage, and Gotcha will bail out of the position, not wanting to engage anymore.
NVK, meanwhile, is going to go for an exit at the top of Aquarium, start to wrap back into another position, whereas Gotcha is rotating more so directly over towards the site, considering the time is starting to get low here for EG, and they unfortunately just haven't made a whole lot of progress yet. IQ, of course, still going around, trying to take care of a lot more of those blackout cameras, as one is going to get knocked out just outside of the office. But still, that issue still remains in the fact that, unfortunately, at the end of the day...
There's no way Gotcha missed him, is there?
You would think he's got himself aimed right around the corner, waiting to see if Laxing wants to try and challenge it. So I'm pretty sure he saw him, but Laxing may think differently. And that could ultimately be what leads to his death here. These two guys still facing off. One's got to push eventually. If we play to the objective, it's going to have to be NVK unless he routes around. In the site, though, we've got the push happening, but also a whole lot of gas grenades trying to delay this. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the one on the ground is affecting Young. So while kills will roll all out for C9, they still attempt to go for the plant, but Young is holding on his own. Stuck in a corner, though, nowhere to go, but it doesn't matter. Picks up yet another kill. We're down into a 2v2, but one player from C9's been eliminated. It's all on Laxing here, or we will see EG close out the map 7-5. Laxing rushing himself in. We still haven't seen the diffuser go down. He's going to be caught in the open. Rush into the corner, drops the diffuser, and brings it back into a 1-3-1 to close out as well. We go the distance all the way to the final round to decide it.
Laxing with that clutch 1v2 to keep Cloud9 alive. We go to round 13 on Coastline. Honestly, this is what everyone in the audience deserves. These two amazing teams going head to head. And it all comes down to this. Evil Geniuses on the defense, unable to select Penthouse and Theater. They will head to Kitchen and Service. And it'll be up to Cloud9's dominating, smothering, debilitating roam clear and site push to dismantle EG. If they stall out again, it's going to be EG taking map number 1.
Here's the issue, though. Specifically for Cloud9, this is the one site where EG was able to lock down and deny Cloud9 any access whatsoever. So Cloud9 have to figure out what went wrong in that previous round and fix it very, very quickly. 6-pick only going to be used by EG. It's not too surprising. The castle going to be thrown out once again. Just switch over towards the Valkyrie.
Again, kitchen service will be the setup, and even more role swaps, even on this very objective. It was NVK on Maestro last played. Now he'll head to the Legion, and Maestro will be picked up by Young. Even more alterations, but the same story remains. I also just want to point out, Retro had a fun round. He jumped out of VIP balcony to try and get those last few kills outside. Interesting decision. You don't really see a VIP balcony jump out all that often, but on this round, the storyline for Evil Geniuses will be keeping their anchors in safety and alive for as long as possible. Too many rounds in this map on Coastline where the anchors for Evil Geniuses have just been completely ripped apart by even one solitary angle. That's all it takes, and Necrox as a smoke is heading towards the Sunrise entrance, a bad exposed angle to head to. But no one from C9 will push in and try and capitalize.
It's going to have to be a slow lead up once again from Cloud9. You have to be sure they're going to be a little bit more cautious about the way they play out this round this time due to how poorly their roam was going in the previous round. They aren't going to be able to isolate out NVK, who's playing on the Legion from the inside of Hookah. Obviously, it's not the easiest position to push past, however. With a conjoined play, they can try to isolate him, get control of Hookah for themselves.
Drones taking their time, making sure they have all the necessary information. Pre-fires from Mark into the Sunrise entrance window will actually push Necrox even deeper back. He was getting a little aggressive towards the entrance windows, and he'll be buffed back now by the pre-fires of Mark, just anticipating anyone getting aggressive from Evil Geniuses. Cloud9, once again, playing the angles, trying to wait for EG to rotate and make the mistake, make the first mistake. They're waiting on EG to make that first step, and then they'll push in. And it doesn't look like EG is willing to give it to them right now. They're not trying to move out of their solitude positions. Foxay has made his way into security, but now Gotcha creeping up on him from behind. Seems like Foxay is hearing multiple angles, but Gotcha's pre-fire will give away his position, and Foxay's just gonna bail out. Doesn't even want to push through, and C9 midway through the round have yet to make the entry they need.
Gotcha going to continue to look around wildly here for anything that they might be able to utilize. More importantly for Cloud9, also failing to get themselves close to the site. They still have a good amount of time to lurk themselves over towards that kitchen position, though. They're spending a whole lot more time still trying to clear out these first and second floors of any potential roamers that might still be out in the open from EG's side. And if they spend too much time on that, that may ultimately be what cost them this round. If they don't leave themselves enough time to get into the site, a little bit of reconstruction going to be done by Foxay from inside of VIP, but despite potentially looking like he had an angle, doesn't zoom in on it. So he's going to be unable to find that early kill against the player from EG.
Gotcha, turning the corner, waiting for Mark to encroach, and he will be met with the grave. Going for another peek will be Gotcha, and he wins it out! Goddess can't shut down the coach of Evil Geniuses. Neither can anyone on C9 yet in this round. Gotcha returning to supremacy, but on 5 HP, will have to hold out in the blue bar for as long as possible. Retro pushing in to reacquire the angle. Knowing the diffuser is lost, and Nitrocell will not land on its position. Retro will cut down Canadian, bringing the deficit of man count back within 1. Pushing through Sunrise now is Foxay with 20 seconds remaining. Gotcha with 3 on the round. The diffuser is lost now, still outside of Sunrise. Retro trying to reacquire. Laxton will shut down MVK at the front desk, but there's no time remaining. They don't even have the diffuser, it's all smoked off. Evil Genius is looking to close out, hitting the Legion mine. Retro will trade Gotcha out, but there's nothing left to do. Retro is down, Laxton in smoke. Evil Geniuses take Map1!
And it goes all the way, a full 7-6, but EG will take it at the end of the day. And what a better way to close it out than to see Gotcha once again show up with a triple kill. Starts off the bat with a 4K, follows it up with an additional 6 kills in the next 2 rounds, then goes, for the most part, completely silent for the rest of the game. But he closes out with a definitive 3K on the final round to win EG, map number 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
An incredible game that went back and forth. A 7-6, you never really know.